You know, there was a lot of talk after that Boston game from the Bucks like, "Hey, this game don't even matter if we come out against Boston and we lay an egg." Well, point me to the nearest direction of some chickens because an egg was laid. A huge egg was laid in Brooklyn, blown out by the Nets.
You are Locked On Bucks, your daily Milwaukee Bucks podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What it do, y'all? Welcome to Locked On Bucks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Now, the #1 sports podcast network, your team every day. I'm Camille Davis, an NBA analyst with the Locked On Network and co-host of the Technical Foul podcast, running solo. No need to involve others in this punishment, but appreciate you for tuning in and making Locked On Bucks your first listen every single day. We are free and available wherever you get your podcast, as well as on YouTube. And today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. If you want to be right in the middle of the action this season, visit FanDuel.com and place your NFL live bets all season long. You probably don't even want to hear NFL. If you're a Wisconsin sports fan, that Packers game, we go from that Packers game to losing Micah Parsons to the Christian Watson injury. Everything feels bleak to watching the Milwaukee Bucks perform like the way that they did in Brooklyn. Same issues, different game. On today's show, we're going to highlight those said issues. We're going to hear from Doc Rivers, hear from Kyle Kuzma, hear from Kevin Porter Jr. on some thoughts they had from this game. We're going to take a look ahead for what the Bucks have in front of them. And technically why everything isn't lost, but why my eyes are telling me, man, it's feeling dark already. But we're going to start with why this game was so disappointing, because it was disappointing on a few different levels, right? I mentioned in the cold open, after the Bucks beat Boston, which was a big win for this game, for this team. I wouldn't even say it was a good win. Like, it wasn't a win that was done in a way that was sustainable, but it was a necessary win. Like, it was a win that the Bucks had to have, and it was against good comp, without Giannis, without AJ Green. We know they didn't have Taurean Prince. So, like, that's a win you look back to, you're like, we can get down with that. But after the game, I loved what Kyle Kuzma said after Boston. Like, when they had beat Detroit, the locker room was like geeked up. But I mean, there was a reason for that, right? They had lost Giannis in that game, and then they came back and found a way to win. After they beat the Celtics, you didn't have that same like jubilant energy in the locker room. Kyle Kuzma said after Boston, we got to do it again. This all does not mean anything if we come out soft in this next game. If we come out not playing hard, then we're 2 steps back. Got to be aggressive on both ends. What did they do tonight, y'all? What did they do? They came out soft in the next game. They came out not playing. They took 2 steps back. We have hit a new low in this season for the Milwaukee Bucks, in a season where we saw them lose, what was it, 7 games in a row? Yes, 7 games in a row, where they started 8-6, and next thing you knew, they were 8-12. They were 8-12, next thing you knew. But we've hit a new low. I want y'all to hear from Kyle Kuzma a little bit more after this game about this new low that they have just now hit.
Does it feel like the low point of the season, like a 45
point? No question. Oh, absolutely. And those 45 points to a team that's trying to lose. 40, they got 4 wins, 5 wins, whatever it is now. No disrespect at all, because, that's the beauty of this league, right? There's so much talent, and, if you're not ready, you can get your butt whooped by any team, right? And we were proof of that tonight.
Sure were. A lot of proof of that tonight. And it's so disappointing because it's like, y'all have not won back-to-back games since the end of October. When the Bucks hit that 4-1 record, when I was on here smiling and rubbing my hands together and being like, man, what a fun Bucks team. They haven't won back-to-back games since then. They have gone 7-15 since the 4-1 start, including that losing streak that they had, and they now sit 11-16 on the season. How do you know, right, that you got to stack wins? Because you can see where you are in the conference. You can see where you are in the standings. And then you go to Brooklyn and you come out like this against the Nets. And then what happens because you come out with such a poor effort, with such poor execution? You lose to the Nets. You lose a wire-to-wire game to the Nets. The Bucks did not lead, not one time in this game against Brooklyn. Brooklyn had only won 6 games heading into tonight's game against the Bucks. Now, heading to the game, the Nets had won 3 of their last 4, which is now they have won 4 of their last 5 because they're now 7-18 after beating the Bucks for their 7th win. They lost by 45 points. The Bucks lost by 45 points. I didn't say they lost by 4 to 5 points. Like I forgot the score. They lost by 45 points. 1 less than 46, 1 more than 44. They lost by that much. That's a win for Brooklyn. That's historic. That tied a franchise record for largest margin of victory. The Brooklyn Nets haven't won a game by 45 points since 1993. They weren't even in Brooklyn. They were still the New Jersey Nets. It's been that long since they've done something like this. And they do it in a season where it's a team that's clearly trying to race up the leaderboard and have the best lottery luck they possibly can. And y'all lost to that team. Now, again, if you don't come ready to play, you can't lose. It is like that in the NBA. But the Nets even had their head coach available. Jordy Fernandez missed the game because he was sick. He was sick. Their assistant head coach directed the team to this historic victory. Like, what? What? How do you come out with that lack of pride after such a good win, a big win, I'll say, against Boston? Kevin Porter Jr. talked a little bit about this too after the game, and I want y'all to hear what Kevin Porter Jr. said, because he says something about how they lost in this game that we have to talk a lot more about.
It's a disappointment, especially the way we lost. You're going to lose in this league, but we never want to lose like that. I think, like Kuz said, we came out a little lax, still probably too confident from the last game, and underestimated how this Brooklyn team prepared, and we didn't prepare the right way.
We did not prepare the right way, is what KPJ just said. We did not prepare the right way. Is that why we continue seeing some of the same issues pop up for this team? Preparation is something I want to drill down further on, because again, this is a game where you saw the Bucks make a lot of the same mistakes that have held them back all season. And I know that they have injuries facing them, but it's still in how they came out. It's in the execution. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that right after this. But first, we got to talk about Wayfair, because the holidays always show up faster than we expect. And if you're still putting together gifts, last-minute decor, or you're getting your home ready for guests, Wayfair has you covered. Whether you need a quick room refresh, some new bedding, or those final seasonal touches, Wayfair makes it easy to get what you need fast. Wayfair truly is your one-stop shop for everything home, with decor, with furniture, kitchen essentials, and gifts for every style and every budget, all delivered quickly and easily. It is so easy to stop by and shop in style. It helps you pick the pieces that actually fit your home instead of just guessing. Get last-minute hosting essentials, gifts for all your loved ones, and decor to celebrate the holidays for way less. Head to wayfair.com right now to shop all things home. That is WAYFAIR.com. Wayfair. Every style, every home. And also a word from our friends over at FanDuel, because NFL Sundays move fast. One big play, and suddenly everything feels different. And that line hits differently as a Packer fan, knowing that Micah Parsons probably tore that ACL and is out for the rest of the season and probably start the next season. But hey, even if the Packers season is lost, it does not mean that yours has to be either, because FanDuel has live betting, and live betting can be really exciting because you're not just watching the game, you can react to it in real time. So with FanDuel, you can place bets as the action unfolds, every drive, every momentum swing, every highlight moment. Live betting is best when the game starts to shift. Receiver gets hot, defense tightens up, momentum flips after an interception maybe in the third quarter where your star receiver gets hurt. FanDuel lets you jump in on the moment, though. Live spreads and money lines adjust instantly. You get the player props that update as guys heat up, and you can bet next touchdown scores and a lot of other things to keep you locked in on every snap, every drive, every possibility. So if you want to be right in the middle of the action all season, visit FanDuel.com and place your NFL live bets all season long. FanDuel, the game moves fast, and so can you. Please gamble responsibly. Want to shout out everybody who tunes in to Locked On Bucks, making us your first listen every day. I appreciate you so much. Also appreciate you for making Locked On the #1 sports podcast network. And you already live your team every day. You already an everydayer. You be tuning in Monday through Friday, even after losses like this one. So take it up to a level and go ad-free. Join the Everydayer Club today and get Locked On Bucks with no interruptions, no ads, members only Discord access, and more, all for just $5 a month or $50 a year. Go to lockedonbucks.supercast.com or check the link in the show notes to learn more. Now, I've been sick for like a week and a half now. I'm tired of being sick. I am sick and tired at this point, just in life, just in general, right? I am also sick and tired of seeing the exact same issues plague the Milwaukee Bucks over and over and over and over again. I want y'all to hear from Doc Rivers on this game because, again, same issues, different game. What's the problem?
That was awful all around on me because I clearly didn't get them ready. And on us, give Brooklyn credit. They played hard as heck. They moved the ball. They played right. We didn't. We gave up 30 points in turnovers. Not until the beginning of the second half that we actually looked like a basketball team where we started passing the ball. But by then, the basketball guys decided you can't make any open shots now. You don't deserve it. So that was disappointing. Probably one of the more disappointing games I've ever been involved in with the way we performed and competed. And we wanted to blame everybody but ourselves. You know, we're blaming the refs. We're looking at each other. No one wanted to play hard. And, you know, we got a lot of soul searching to do.
Y'all tell me who y'all think that's a problem for. If a team comes out, doesn't feel prepared. If a team comes out, not ready to compete. Like, yeah, it's not all on one entity. There's shared blame to go around for that, right? Players got it. They're the ones on the court to play. But like, that screams coaching to me. That screams coaching to me. I am not going to call for anyone's job, but what I will say is that if the Bucks continue to put together performances like what we saw tonight in Brooklyn, that is like fireable offense. What we saw from the Milwaukee Bucks tonight, not good enough. And the craziest thing about that, they had time before this game. It's not even like it was a situation where it's like, oh, well, you know, it's the second night of a back-to-back. They got tired legs. The schedule's been really hectic. They've played 5 games in 7 days. Well, it's not 1993. We don't do that no more. You know, they've played, 3 games in 6 days, and they're just tired, and they ain't got the legs, and woo, 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 woo. That ain't this. They had time before this game. The Bucks ain't played since Thursday. It's Sunday. 2 days off coming into this game. Piss poor effort and execution. They have played 2 games in a week. Wildly different outcomes in those 2 games, but still only 2 games within the week. The lack of execution and effort is not acceptable. It's just, that's the baseline of it. Coming into the season, what we thought that Bucks basketball was going to be, fast-paced, a lot of threes, pressure defense, rely on depth. The depth part, I'll give you a pass on because you got guys playing roles that are outsized for what they were expected to do. I'll give them that one. But even with the injuries, is this not a team that should be beating the Brooklyn Nets? Is this not a team that you shouldn't look out there on the court and watch these 2 teams play and be confused on which team is the one that's trying to tank? The Brooklyn Nets should not come out and have more effort than you. The Brooklyn Nets should not come out and play harder than you. What's the preparation like? Like I mentioned, Kevin mentioned it before. I played the clip in the last segment. He did talk more about the preparation. And I found this so interesting. So interesting that I need y'all to hear this too, because
the preparation for this game wasn't how we prepared for every game. And it showed. I mean, we lost by 45 points to the second bottom team. I mean, you know, the evidence is there. We just got to do better coming in the games.
Is that just kind of how you guys, you mentioned preparation, like how do you get to that spot that you guys didn't prepare in the same way?
You just got to be professional. And like I said, preparation is non-negotiable in this league. You got to be ready to come out and play. It's the NBA at the end of the day. A lot of teams got great players. And, you know, tonight they're making a lot of shots, but they're wide open shots at the end of the day. So we got to do better as a whole.
Got to do better as a whole. I mentioned same issues, different game. When the Bucks tend to lose games, you can point to a few things, and normally that's part of it. The big one for them in this one, the biggest repeat offender in this game for the Bucks, turnovers. Turnovers. They turn the ball over too damn many times in this game. 20 turnovers to the Brooklyn Nets. A Brooklyn Nets team that's not even in the top half of the league of forcing turnovers. Y'all had 20 turnovers that led to 30 points for the Brooklyn Nets. Even when the Bucks got steals of their own, when the Bucks forced turnovers of their own, it's like they just gave the ball right back to Brooklyn. Right back. Here you go. We don't want it. Here you go. Take it. The Bucks had as many turnovers in this game, 20, as they did assists. They had 20 assists and 20 turnovers in this game. Unbelievable. Another slow start to this game where it's like you're watching, okay, they're down by, you know, a few head after the first. And then it's like the doors got blown off of them in the second quarter. They tried to bring it back a little bit, but the next thing you know, they're down by 17 at halftime. The lead grows and grows and grows for Brooklyn from that point. Like, not only do like the numbers tell you that they've been bad, but like your eyes do too. What you are seeing. This is one of the times where all the analytics people, all the quote unquote stat nerds and all that stuff can look at people who talk about hoops and be like, we in agreement about how this Bucks team look right now. Not good. Not good. And Kyle Kuzma brought up a point that I want y'all to hear.
Starting out games. I think that's a recurring theme throughout the year. Starting out games, setting the tempo. You know, that's a huge thing. You know, when you come out, you know, it's like Mike Tyson. You know, Mike Tyson says, you know, if you come out, you know, everybody has a game plan until you get punched in the mouth. So a lot of times we're the ones getting punched in the mouth, and then we're the shell shock, and then we come out, and then we fight. You know, we fight in round 7, round 8, round 9, but it's too late. You know, and I think that we need to start setting that tone. You know, we have sometimes. Some games we have, but not consistent enough to be a competitive team. You know, when you watch the in-season tournament games, right? OKC, San Antonio, like, it was personal. Everything was personal. It was a playoff game. Obviously, it's an in-season tournament, but, you know, they're in December just like us, right? And, yeah, we got to get our act together.
They got to. And I'm so glad that Kyle Kuzma brought up the in-season games because what we saw in the game the other night with the Spurs against the Thunder, like it looked like a different sport from what the Bucks just put on display against the Brooklyn Nets. Like it can't be that. Like I said, not only do the numbers tell you that the Bucks have been bad, but your eyes do too. They do not look like a team that can compete with some of the better teams in the league right now. And I know, again, injuries are a part. A team without Giannis, when the whole thing is constructed around him, it ain't going to perform well. So, like, I'm giving them some grace on that. But even with that grace, you can't lose by 45 points to no doggone Brooklyn Nets. You can't. You can't. Everydayers know me as like the optimist, right? The positive person. And right now, especially after how that Packer game went, I'm in the mood, right? I'm just in the mood. I feel like that meme though, where it's like the old couple on the bench, and I think it's like the husband who has an umbrella and he's holding it over the wife and he's getting rained on, but she's dry, and it's like, just because I'm mad does not mean I stop loving you. That's how I am with the Bucks. Like, I love the Milwaukee Bucks. I have loved the Milwaukee Bucks for decades, right? Decades. Yes, decades. I'm getting old, but for decades. It's December 14th as I record this. There is still about 2/3 of the season to go. The positive thing about this terrible loss, that's a new low for the Bucks, and I hope this remains the low for the Bucks, is that the season doesn't end today. Like, we're a third of the way through, which means they still have about 2/3 of the season left to try and turn things around. And we'll discuss why there is still, or should be, some hope for this team right after this. Now, y'all know me. I don't like to front. We're going to keep it a buck, right? Making excuses don't solve anything. I ain't going to make none for the Bucks. I ain't going to make none here. We've heard all them excuses before, too. It's just stress. I'm tired. It happens to everyone sometimes. But when it comes to performance, sometimes your body needs a little extra support. And that's where Rugiet comes in. Rugiet.com offers fast-acting doctor-prescribed treatments for ED designed to help you stop making excuses and start making moves. If prescribed, your treatment ships discreetly straight to your door. The process is fast, simple, and private, and it's all handled by real doctors. Visit Rugiet.com, RUGIET.com/LockedOnNBA to get 15% off your first order. That's RUGIET.com/LockedOnNBA. And don't forget to use our code LockedOnNBA so they know that we sent you. Rugiet, stop making excuses and start making moves. What's ahead for the Milwaukee Bucks? Depending on where you stand, either you are somebody who is still like, we got playoff aspirations, it's all in front of us, or you're somebody who's already looking to the draft. Because while the Bucks might not control their drafts until 2031, they do have a draft pick in 2026. It was in the pick swaps. It has, it's all that good stuff going on with it. It was the pick swap with New Orleans from the Jrue Holiday trade initially, right? The Pelicans traded that swap to the Hawks. And what that means is that the Hawks are going to get the pick that is worse between the Pelicans and the Bucks. So the Bucks got a draft pick. So some of y'all might be looking and be like, hey, my optimism is coming from the fact that we might be able to get a high draft pick. Others, optimism might come from, we can still make a playoff run. I'm more so talking to you playoff run hopefuls, okay, for the optimism here. Because if your optimism comes with the draft pick hopes, you're going to hope for some more losses. And that's not really optimistic in the general sense of things, unless you're talking about, you know what? We ain't talking to y'all right now. We talking to the people in the standings. And here's the room for optimism, right? The Bulls lost to the Pelicans, ironically enough, tonight as well. So the Bulls are the 11th seed in the East right now. Bucks at 11 and 16 are sitting as the 10th seed. With them sitting in the 10 seed, they're 10 games behind first place. I don't see the Bucks going on some type of run where they can become first in the East, right? But the point that you really want to kind of take a look at is that 3-4 seed, right? You got the Celtics in the 3 seed right now. They're 15-10. You have the Magic and the Raptors, who are both 15-11. The Magic are the 4 seed. The Raptors are the 5 seed. Bucks 11-16. 11-16. So you're 5 losses behind, the Magic and the Raptors. You're 6 losses behind the Celtics at the moment. That's still very doable, right? With 2/3 of the season left to play, there's still 60-some games to go. That's okay. You're still within some type of striking distance, right? The flip side to that, so maybe, hey, for you draft optimist here, I got a little something for you. It's just another side of the optimism for, the people who were hoping for a good playoff positioning. The Bucks sitting at that 10 seed, they're also just 5.5 games in front of the Wizards, who are 4-20. 4-20. They got 20 losses. Bucks got 16. Again, Bucks got more wins there, so the math ain't, all the way there. So by the standing numbers, the Bucks are 5.5 games in front of the Wizards. So, again, they remain in this spot in the East where it's it's do or die time. You're going to do something with this, or you're going to continue fumbling, and that rope's going to continue to get longer, and then eventually you're not going to be in a position where it's we can still make something out of this, right? Because the December schedule for the Bucks, as we have talked about on Locked On Bucks, somewhat favorable for the team, right? It's not as if they are going to have their January schedule, which is actually pretty tough compared to what they have now. So it's now is the time to really try and rack up those wins. We're halfway through the month now. We are halfway through the month of December, and the Bucks have so far in December lost to the to the Wizards, beat the Pistons, lost to the Sixers, lost to the Pistons, beat the Celtics, and now have lost to the Brooklyn Nets, meaning they are 2-4 so far in the month of December. They don't play again until Thursday, so they're going to have some more days off to try to get that preparation right, try to take that look in the mirror for accountability, to try to make sure that they come out and have the proper focus to start the game, right? So here's the rest of December for the Bucks. Thursday, the 18th, against Toronto. And then they go away for a 5-game road trip that takes you through almost the rest of the month. The road trip kicks off in Minnesota on the 21st. Then it's Indiana on the 23rd, Memphis on the 26th, Chicago on the 27th, Charlotte on the 29th, before they come home for a New Year's Eve game against the Washington Wizards. So again, you can look at the schedule and be like, hey, these are all games that are still winnable. The Raptors have been sliding a bit of late. Minnesota's going to be tough. The Pacers haven't been great, but those games were tough before. Memphis has had some struggles so far this season. Chicago's been struggling. Charlotte's bottom of the standings in the East. Washington's bottom of the standings. The games are winnable, right? They're there. But it's what have the Bucks done to give you hope that they can actually go out and do it? That's where I'm currently at. I want to have the hope, and I can look at that logically and be like, hey, all is not gone. You know what I mean? It's still in front of them, but they have to start showing me something. They have to. Otherwise, it's going to be what it's been so far, which is a lot of talk, a lot of repeating the same things, a lot of the same problems. Oh, it's turnovers. Oh, it's the slow start. Oh, we fouled too much. Oh, we didn't rebound. Oh, all the things. They cannot be things anymore, because if they continue to be things, especially from preparation, especially from execution, like I mentioned, those are things that can be considerable fireable offenses. Now, I don't know if that's something that'll please Giannis in the general scheme of things. And with all of this happening and getting blown out by the Nets, you can bet your bottom dollar that all the noise around the Giannis trade stuff is going to continue to get louder. I'm curious to see what noise continues to get louder about what the Bucks might be looking to do themselves in the deadline. If they keep Giannis, how can you improve this team? Is it switching coaches? Is there a trade out there? December 15th, we got a lot of deals on the table now that are tradable. All of those off-season free agent signings, those contracts are tradable December 15th. What can Horst do? How can this team be better? They got to find it. They got to dig down for them answers. Then again, they're going to have some time before their next game. They don't play again until Thursday. We're going to have some time on Locked On Bucks to really dig through how the first third of the season has gone for the Bucks, to really explore. Are there any free agent or not free agent targets? Are there any trade targets that make sense, that can make this team make sense? Because let me tell you, there is so much smoke around the name of Zach LaVine in Milwaukee. That makes no sense to me. Offense is not the biggest problem for this Milwaukee Bucks team. Defense is. Rebounding is one of the biggest problems. Wing size is one of the biggest problems for this team. And getting a 6'5" Zach LaVine who does not play a lot of defense does not solve those problems. So, again, what you going to do, Milwaukee? Like, what are you going to do? It's a crucial time period right now. Outside of all the Giannis noise, it's a crucial point in your season right now. Something has to be made of it. Something has to be made of it. But appreciate you for tuning in to Locked On Bucks, making us your first listen of the day. Make sure you subscribe and that you follow Locked On Bucks so that you can get all the latest episodes. And if Locked On Bucks made your Spotify Wrapped or your YouTube, whatever, or your Apple, the podcast recaps, let us know. Prove it. If it's Spotify Wrapped in particular, and you post it on social media, tag our national Locked On Podcast Network account on any social platform. And what you'll get in return for being an everydayer is a code so that you can be one of the first to join the Everydayer Club and get a month free. A month free is what that code will give you. So come on, be part of the Everydayer Club. Get your favorite show ad-free. And you get exclusive access to a members-only Discord channel. I'm in it. Justin's in it. All the hosts on the Locked On Network is in it. So if you want to have some more conversations, more kind of one-on-one, that's going to be a method to do that. For those of you who are watching on YouTube, appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all subscribe, like, hit the comments, all that stuff. But if you're watching, I'm going to send you over to our 24/7 national NBA YouTube channel. On the audio side, make sure you make that second listen of your day, NBA Game Night on Locked On NBA. You can find me on the Tuesday show recapping the Monday night games on NBA Game Night. So make sure y'all check that out. Check out Locked On NBA, the channel, all the things. We'll be back with more Locked On Bucks for you tomorrow.